Hello, my name is James Kanata. I've been with Response for a few months now. I just finally got my first deal done this past Friday. It went into closing. I just want to let you know a little bit about Response. I can tell you right now, very apprehensive going through the program as and towards starting it. Went to a Tony Robbins event. I went to a weekend course. They tried to sell me a really expensive course. Then I got a call from Response saying about their protege mentor program. So I decided, to do something that really scared me and signed up for it. Nonetheless, started submerging myself in the Response software. Took the course, started doing my weekly calls with John Free. John has been amazing. He's a godsend. Very entertaining as well, but very knowledgeable. Really started to kind of put me in on the spot and saying, "Hey, here's what you need to do if you want to make this successful." And I can tell you right now, the biggest thing is just taking action, and that's one thing that John really stressed the whole time, and is really motivational for me as well. Nonetheless, started taking, went through the course. From that point, just started doing small things, small things as towards going and driving for dollars and knocking on doors and having a conversation with neighbors and the neighbors' neighbors, building up that list of people who might be motivated sellers to see if I could find a deal. From that point, just really building how to talk to people. It's one of those things. I've always been in sales and I've been comfortable talking to people, but I felt like I was dropped in the middle of a foreign country and I didn't speak the English, the language, with not knowing the real estate terms and what to say and when to say and sound like I knew what I was doing. But the more you do that, the more you stumble through that, the more comfortable you get. So you may be better off and ahead of me in that sense, or you may be at the same point. But just the biggest thing I can say is don't be afraid, take action. Then also on top of that, started putting out bayonet signs. I got a lot of callbacks off that, built my buyer list, followed the steps that John said, and just stayed hungry. Biggest thing, like I said, was just taking action. It's one of those things to where, the response system and what they provide for you, the software, and then also on top of that, the advisory line. The advisory line, everybody at that advisory line is absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter if you're just having a rough day and you need to talk to somebody about getting shot down or getting some no's on properties, or if you have questions because you're on the spot at a possible seller's house and they're asking you questions you don't know about. That advisory line has been phenomenal, and everybody out there, give them five stars every single time, because they're all just so helpful and so willing to help, and priceless right there is what that is. But at the same time, got my first deal. I got a call from a motivated seller who was up in St. Augustine. She moved here 6 months ago and said that she was needing to get back to Atlanta. She bought a house for cash. She moved here with her autistic daughter for work and just change the scenery. Didn't want to go through a real estate agent, didn't want to go through renting her house out. So I went to her house, didn't really focus as much on the house as I did about her motivational levels and finding out how to build that rapport with her, because that's what's different from anybody else who might be trying to go in there and interact with her or any other we buy houses type of investors. But either way, set her at ease, made her feel real comfortable, joked, had fun, and next thing you know, I got the contract. Put it under contract, and it was nerve-wracking. Didn't know legally what I was doing and if it was the right thing, and I was following the steps, but you still have apprehension. But that response line was, the advisory line was awesome. Ended up getting under contract. So she called me the next day and she said, "Hey, by the way, I'm buying a house up in Atlanta, but it's contingent on this deal going through." And she was adding a lot of anxiety to it. So my first deal was definitely a little stressful. But nonetheless, I can tell you it was about 8 hours worth of work, and I ended up doing it as an assignable contract. It ended up resulting in a good payout for my first deal. And I also have a second deal under contract right now as well, and it's already been assigned, and that one closes in a couple weeks. But in the matter of 2 deals, I've made what it would take me several months to do, because I kept driving and kept pushing and keep doing things consistently, because you post one less Craigslist ad because it's not working, and that may be the one that you miss out on. So just stay consistent. I can tell you, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to get involved in sites on YouTube and training on YouTube. But that mentorship with John Free and Response and that advisory line has been the game changer. Absolutely. I'm gaining knowledge, getting more comfortable. Simplified Property Solutions is getting a lot of phone calls, but doing a lot of driving for dollars and learning a lot of different strategies like probate now, things that are still somewhat foreign to me. But the biggest thing I can tell you is, as long as you're willing to take action and you have an open mind, this is a great program to go through, and it's a building blocks for what can be a very bright future. I know it is for me. And hopefully this helps everybody out. If you need anything from me, let me know. You all have a fantastic day. And once again, just take action. Thank you. Bye.